All right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. How you doing today, King?
Oh, almost outstanding.
Can you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yes, for sure. Yes, I am Donnie Hill, or AKA M'Baku. Uh, but yeah, I am part of the royal family,
hmm
and just glad to be here today.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a beautiful day. It's an amazing day,
For
King.
sure, for sure.
Yeah, how you feeling? Looking forward to your competition, looking forward to everything, ahead. How you feeling right now?
Man, to just say great is like an understatement. I feel like I'm on a whole nother level.
Mm.
My physique looks great. My attitude is just like positive. I mean, it's just like sky's are the limits. Like seriously.
Yes. Yes, yes, that is beautiful. Thank you very much for that. So before we go into anything, man, let's go all the way back to the prep course before prep. Actually, before even the royal family, who was Donnie?
So Donnie, before the prep course, before I mean, honestly, I planned on getting out of the Marine Corps in like 2002, but some situations led me to North Carolina, and
hmm
while on leave, they switched my orders to come to Camp Pendleton. And I always say that God don't make mistakes, right? And
hmm
so that led me here. And the person that I was prior was an individual that was getting ready to get out and know that, hey, I'm broke in this area, that, where I was at was where I needed to be, or where I was, comfortable with just with life, So prior to this, I was comfortable. I was comfortable with injuries that I had, weight problems that I had, family having high cholesterol. I was going down that line. My mom has, my dad has type 2 diabetic. I was going down that, and so everything was just looking like my history, and I was just like, so I was living my history in my, in my present. So it was
Wow,
crazy.
wow, wow, wow! You living your history in your present. That was a very powerful statement, man. Looking, now you're starting from your journey with the royal family on the prep course. How was that for you, and how was your experience there?
Well, I would tell you, it's been nothing shy or short of amazing, because I had Marvin, who was pretty much the individual that I saw that motivated me to get to this point.
Mm.
And I was just like, oh man, like whatever he's drinking, I want some of it. So asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, it's not something that that just like happens overnight. But I can tell you, for me, it was a great journey, and just his energy and just where he was at,
Yeah.
like gave me like, oh man, like I definitely want to get some of that. And then going to the prep, doing the prep team, and going to the shows, the energy there was just phenomenal. And you just like, oh man, I like, it was like cracky, like I want more, I want more, I want more. Like, yeah, so it was amazing. So yeah,
Nice,
finally.
nice, nice. That is beautiful, man. And then looking back at it, right? Because I remember the first time we met at the other gym
Oh
right
yes.
there. What was going through your mind the very first posing section with then in that room. I remember, man. What was going through your mind, like,
What
what
did
was the
I
feeling
sign
like?
up for? Like, I mean, like I was. It was bad to see everyone else, and
hmm
then like see myself, right, with my shirt off, with my love handles, with my just I felt like I didn't belong. Like I had
mm
never ever thought about being a bodybuilder, and then to be in a room full of guys that have like awesome physiques was a bit overwhelming. Like
mm
it was crazy to see all of the just Jason, and at the time, I think his name was Anthony.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Marvin and Coach just seeing y'all's physiques, and I'm just like I'm nowhere close. and just it looked like a unattainable goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that goes back to what my mindset was. I was kind of set, what this is my history, like this is what my family has been, and so this is what I'm destined to be. And so it just allowed me the opportunity to see all of that and kind of like kind of stay in that mindset. And I was like, oh my gosh,
that is, you know, that is beautiful, right? Because for you to still keep coming back, and here we are now, you're getting ready to step on stage, right?
Yes.
You know, can you just even let us in on a little bit on the journey in between, man? Like the setback, the pushback, the days, the obstacles, you know, all the way to this point, right? Because, you know, I don't think we'll highlight so much about the journey itself, right? The journey itself, we just focus on like, oh, this was where I was, and then this is where I am.
Right.
The in between, like, just give us, you know, one or two spills, man. How was that for you?
Oh my gosh. So it has been a journey. And I guess again, when I say the history mindset, like I was kind of adapted to the point that, hey, this is my history. And so this is where I'm destined to be, right? Mm-hmm. And so through the journey, it was about fixing that image of this is not your history. Like you are in control of your future. And so, you know, the history's gone. Like I said, no, like you can recreate who you can. And not only that, like not even what I would have thought about at the beginning, but now I'm at a mindset that not only that I can actually change my history's future. So my parents and my you know, everyone that's dealing with the issues that I have that's in my family and even outside of my family, like I could change their future. And I've already started working with that. So I initially started out with that mindset, that history mindset, but then also had injuries that were kept coming up. Doctor told me that, hey, you need to have surgery on your ankle. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then doctor said, hey, you got high blood pressure. And I'm like, oh gosh. My iron was low, which was crazy because, you know, it just didn't make sense because, you know, I was a male, and, you know, in my mind, why would my iron be low? I mean, just like a lot of different things that would just pop up, and just felt like it was just like a roadblock to get into being a healthy, you know, male. And not only that, just being able to step on anybody's stage and become a bodybuilder. And then you couple that with my daughters. The first time I was going to step on a show, I don't know if you remember, but I was back when coach had a protocol that, hey, you have to, when you step on the show, you got to be able to actually perform on a stage or whatever the case is. And he counted the one, I think it was November 18th, I think it was, last year. He's like, hey, you can use this as like that protocol. And I was like, oh man, because I definitely want to be on the team. So I'm going to use that as that protocol of being on the stage, and I can get on the team. I'll be fine. I'll make it. And like on the way, it was our Marine Corps ball on the back end of it, or on the front end of it. And I had my daughters with me. And they had just went to the ball. They had a great time. And then on the trip up here, I live in San Diego, so roughly a 45-minute drive up here, I was getting ready to step on stage. And my daughter had like a meltdown. Wow. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like weighing the options of, do I go handle this? Can I handle this by going to the show? That'd be motivation. Or do I need to just take the time out, be the father, and pull away? And so when I decided that I'll just take my daughter and go actually, you know, give her that time. And it worked out. And then I started questioning myself, like, man, like, that was your time to get on stage. Like, do you have what it takes? Was that a setback that pushed you all the way back? So then dealing with like mental just issues of, am I worthy? Am I there? And so overcoming that was tough, but, you know, journal entries. Entries help. You know, you go back and revisit them, that gets you to where you need to be.
Yes.
And then at that point, just getting after it, If I fall, get back up. That's my self-fall.
Yes.
Fall, get back up. That's my self-fall. The positive energy around the team. Yeah, it's been phenomenal.
Wow. Thank you very much for sharing. That is really powerful. You know, that is everything right there, right? When we talk about focus, right? It's like, okay, regardless of how many times I fall down, it's not gonna stop me from getting there. I'm gonna get up and keep going. That's just relentless. And thank you very much for sharing that, right? You did mention the journal entry. Throughout this journey, what is, you know, the journal entry that just, you know, sparked everything for you?
Oh my gosh. It's a couple of them did, but the one, I forget what number it is, but it's one of the first ones, and that's the constantly writing in your journal, the self-affirmations in your journal. And a lot of times, because you do so much, you have, and especially in our line of work, we are always constantly called to do whatever, whenever, and then the more you grow, the more they need you for something. And then the more that you are on top of your game, the more they want to use you for everything. And so I had gotten to that point, and so to the point to where I was not writing in my journal entry, and I could feel the effects of me not giving myself that self-affirmation, writing in my journal entries, telling myself that who I am, just that declaration of who I am to myself. So that allowed me to get to, and helps me kind of bounce back. Like when I feel like, oh man, I'm going down a slump or I'm feeling bad, getting back, I say, man, when the last time you did your journal entry? When the last time you did your self-affirmations? And so that has helped me out. And there was a book that I ended up reading, Becoming Supernatural.
Dr. Joe Esperanza.
Yes. Yeah. And oh my gosh. Yeah. So to this day, I ended up buying it on podcasts. Not podcasts, but Audible. And I'll listen to that thing like on the way to work, on the way to the house, whatever the case is. Yes. And it helps to kind of just reignite, that spark. So whenever I'm down, those are the ones that are like stick out, that helps me out.
Oh man. Just sort of,
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much. Your journey, your growth has been really, really inspirational, for both myself, and the team, to just watch you evolve and grow every single day, and that is what this is all about, bodybuilding with a purpose, right? Yes. We all have whatever it is, man, we're going through in life, right? Definitely. But age is not a factor, gender is not a factor, whatever, nothing is a factor. You just, keep going. But thank you very much. I'll tell you this, I know your daughters are definitely, inspired. Just, man, this is dad right here, man, doing his thing. And they're looking forward to you competing in New Zealand, August 19th. My goodness.
Yes.
New Zealand. Like, what are you expecting, and what is the expectation there?
So, you know what? If you would ask me that about 3 months ago, like, what is your expectation with competing? I would have said to get on the stage and just, have a good time. But I'm at the point to where, like, hey, I'm trying to get on stage and slaughter the competition. Because I think back then I didn't see what my body could be, and I wasn't fully trusting the process. But now that I've fully engulfed myself into trusting the process and just understanding that, when I'm getting these assignments and I'm getting these points to hit, that if I stick to them, there's a level that you can get to. There's a way, there's a methodology that coach has that allows him to be able to kind of, get under you and figure out, all right, this is where I need to, it's just almost, it's the reason we call him the alchemist, right? It's like sitting there in his, I can just see him in his science lab with his science coat on, just going to work, just adding this, and then giving it to us. And we're like, oh man, this is money. And I've seen body parts that I was just like popping. My chest, my legs, my everything. It's just like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so now that mindset has completely changed to like, man, I can actually like take it. Not only can I do it, but I can actually win this bad boy.
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm excited.
That is beautiful. I mean, we know, August 19th, we're gonna go out there in New Zealand.
Yes.
Show up and show out.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. And then lastly, before we wrap this up, any words of advice you have for anyone out there, whatsoever, what would that be?
Oh my gosh. First of all, trust the process. And that's because it is. I think we don't think about what that actually means. All right. Trust being that opportunity to say, you know what, but regardless of what my mind tells me, regardless of what, the YouTube videos or whatever it says, I trust. I actually fully, are saying I devote that whatever I'm getting, I'm going to not execute. And then, we'll see what comes from that. Process is not just, it happens like all of a sudden. Like, it's not just like that, it's a journey. It's everybody's journey, and it has to be a process. Everybody's process doesn't look the same.
Yes.
So, just sticking to the process, trusting the process that coach is giving you, and then just seeing that thing through. Because when you come out on the other end, like, it's gonna be phenomenal.
Yes.
Like I'm telling you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then also, we're gonna fall. We will fall down, and you will get to a point to where you're just like, oh man, I don't know if I'm worthy, or whatever the case is. And my biggest thing was letting coach down. Like, I like throughout this whole journey, I always thought like I let coach down because he gave me something and I didn't give him anything. I didn't fully, give that back. And it's like, man, if I were coach, in my mind, I'm thinking, if I were coach, I'll be like, man, I ain't got time to deal with you because, you're like, you keep like half doing the assignments. And so I never received that from coach, and I never received that from the team. And so being able to fall and like getting myself back on track as quickly as possible, and then, trusting that process. And I think that would be my biggest advice to everybody.
Trust the process. You're headed from King Donnie himself.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for this, King. I look forward to coming back here doing the post-show interview after flying back from New Zealand. Thank you very much for your time, King.
Appreciate it.